remember going into this year and not being afraid because we thought we were a good team, but with the honest feeling being we could be good, but we're never going to do. It's never going to be as special as it was last year.
The 87-88 season was indeed special for Seton Hall. The Pirates won 22 games on their way to their best record in 35 years and took their first ever trip to the NCAA tournament. But that club was led by 6'9" senior Mark Bryant, the team's leading rebounder for 3 straight years and the Hall's 4th all-time leading scorer.
21st pick in the draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Mark Bryant of Seton Hall.
With Bryant and 2 other starters gone, the 88-89 Pirates were counting on their seniors for leadership. John Morton and Gerald Green would be the starting backcourt, and Darrell Walker would have to play 30 minutes a game up front. Big East scholar-athlete Ramon Ramos would have the unenviable task of replacing Bryant in the middle, and newcomer Andrew Gaze, known worldwide as Australia's best player, was about to make his U.S. debut. With Michael Cooper, Anthony Avent, Franz Volzi, Pookie Wigington, and Nick Katsikas on the bench, there was reason to be optimistic. The Great Alaska Shootout would be the first real test. Waiting for the Pirates in the cold north were the likes of Utah, Florida, Kentucky, and defending national champion Kansas. The Hall landed in Anchorage without a lot of respect. Preseason polls had them picked to finish in the bottom third of the Big East. But the 88-89 squad was undaunted, and they would raise more than a few eyebrows before they left. The Pirates opened the tournament with an 18-point win over Utah. And in what would become a hallmark for this club, all 5 starters were in double figures. The next night, the Hall skinned the Wildcats 63-60, and the Pirates were about to play in the first of what would turn out to be a season of championship games.
Seton Hall hoping to be a Cinderella surprise sleeper club, if you will, in that Big East, while Kansas, even though they can't really defend, they want to come out and show people that they belong in the defending role as the national champion. Geldner over Ramos again, Avent the rebound. Pookie Wigington coming, has Cooper with him. Scooter Berry there. Wigington. That's no room for the little man. Who says little men can't play this game? Avent tipped it. Lincoln Minor got it. He's got Pritchard. Minor. Pookie. Hello to Ramos alone. Seton Hall about to wrap up Great Alaska Shootout Championship. Green off. That brings the bench up. Put a ribbon on it. It's the Great Alaska Shootout Championship for the 11th season of this tournament goes to Carlissimo and the Seton Hall Pirates, who start their season 3-0.
We came back from Alaska enormously confident. I mean, to me, Alaska was one of the keys to our entire season. That just set the tone right off the bat that we were a good team.
Growing in confidence, Seton Hall returned home to host the Tip-Off Classic. And within 5 days of having captured the Shootout Championship, the Pirates added still another trophy to their treasure chest. After rolling over Central Connecticut 81-42, the Hall blitzed Mount St. Mary's 107-75 in the championship game. Next, the Pirates rolled over state rival St. Peter's, and the Hall was now undefeated in 6 outings. But looming on the horizon was an early Big East matchup with arch rival St. John's.
All that matters is the league games, and more so that one, because it was St. John's. That's the other local team, because it's a team that we had never beaten, and because it was in a building where we hadn't won, Seton Hall hadn't won since 1913.
The year was 1913. St. John's campus was in Brooklyn, New York. Ty Cobb won the American League batting title for the 8th consecutive year, and that was the last year that Seton Hall had won a basketball game on St. John's home court. Matty Rust blocked by Ramos. Good play by Gaze.
Great play.
Morton picks it up. This time he's got Green with him. Finds Green. He got 2.
Great play. That was the guy you've been telling me about all day long.
Dan, nice move. Walker the rebound.
Good find. Morton. Find.
Yes.
Great find.
Morton comes to the ball. Now Gaze catches and fires. Long rebound. That'll be Bruss, but Gaze.
Great
nice
play.
drives and hits.
Oh, great play. Great presence of mind by Gaze.
Seton Hall Pirates and P.J. Carlissimo will sit in first place for the next couple of weeks. Final score 74-63 for my partner Quinn Buckner. Goodbye from New York. Hello, John.
Thank you, gentlemen. The first time in about 80 years that Seton Hall has gone onto a St. John's campus and come away with a victory. So P.J. Carlissimo, his team is for real. Now 1-0 in the Big East, but more importantly, at this point in the season, 7-0 overall.
Seton Hall ran its record to 10-0 with 3 straight non-conference wins, beating Rutgers, Fordham, and Princeton handily. Off to their best start in 36 years, the undefeated Pirates were on their way to New Orleans.
As we got through December, we had won the shootout, we had won at St. John's, and we won a couple more non-conference games, some of which were good wins for us. But we thought this was going to be a perfect lead into the league. Now, you know, we thought we were ready, and it was kind of like the last dress rehearsal.
If this was a dress rehearsal, the results of the Sugar Bowl tournament showed the Hall was ready for Broadway. The Pirates tipped off against ACC powerhouse Virginia and dominated the Cavaliers 84-67. The DePaul Blue Demons were next, and with the Sugar Bowl championship at stake, Seton Hall had perhaps its best game of the season.
Blue Demons down 19-11. Pirates of Seton Hall have the basketball. Working against Booth, off to Green. They go low to Avent. Morton with a move. Now Green with a jumper for 3, and he hits another three-pointer. Gerald Green. Avent loses it, but retains possession. Gaze, he'll pop for 3. It's good. Now to Green. Right side Gaze toward the corner low. Avent, a jumper. Good over Howard. Now Gaze will pop. They're going to give him a three-point attempt. Will not go, but Avent there with the It will not go down, and the rebound to Avent. Wigington against Murphy. Out of the corner, Morton fills it for 3. Avent now, he's going to jump it from 15, and he hits. The Seton Hall red hot.
The Hall was now 12-0, boasting 3 in-season tournament titles and getting the attention of every college basketball fan in the country. The new year was about to begin, and the undefeated Pirates had a date with Georgetown. There was plenty at stake when the Pirates took to court that cold January night. Both teams were undefeated. Top 10 rankings and first place in the Big East were on the line, and Seton Hall fans turned out like they never had before. For the first time since the Hall moved their home games to the Meadowlands in 1985, it was standing room only in the Brendan Byrne Arena.
And this will be a loud building tonight. Again, we'll get an official figure before the night is over, but it may be the largest crowd ever here at the Meadowlands to see a college basketball game. And at least at this point in the season, you couldn't think of 2 better teams to come out and see. Ramos won't go down. Walker blocked down low. Morning. Walker again. It's blocked. A foul this time. John Turner.
Is Darrell Walker into this game or what?
Inside Avent. Long horn. Tipped up. Darrell Walker.
Who else but Darrell Walker has just had a phenomenal first 20 minutes of basketball.
That is the half here at the Meadowlands. And P.J. Carlissimo ought to put an arm around Darrell Walker. He's kept him in the game. 14 points and 10 rebounds for Walker. Cooper tries again. Buries it.
Hot hand. You asked earlier before the game whether or not the crowd would be a factor. It's a factor now.
Gaze comes out firing.
Look at the crowd.
Gaze cuts to the bucket. Got it.
Outstanding pass by Volsi. Michael Cooper's had a hot hand.
Green hits a 3.
All of the Pirates have a hot hand right now.
And they are loving it here at the Meadowlands. Darrell Walker steps back to the free throw line. Darrell Walker has never played a better basketball game in his life.
We'll notice statistically the points scored. We'll also notice the 17 rebounds, but he also was so active defensively, drawing the charges earlier, doing a great job of helping, made a couple of steals from Morning inside. Just really alert the entire night, buries both of them.
Charles Smith finds Dwayne Bryant.
follow. Winston won't go, and Seton Hall is 13-0.
Beating Georgetown was fantastic, and the kids played great, and I can't minimize that. But it was far more significant, all the events that led up to that night and the building being sold out. And clearly, for the first time, in my mind and in our mind, we had arrived.
But 13 proved to be an unlucky number for the Pirates, and the winning streak came to an end in the Carrier Dome at the hands of Big East rival Syracuse. Seton Hall then settled into January, bent on holding on to their national ranking. 4 wins over Iona, Connecticut, Villanova, and New Hampshire College were followed by a tough loss to Pittsburgh. The Pirates crushed BC twice and lost at Georgetown. John Morton led the club in scoring in 6 of the 7 games. The rematch with Syracuse at the Meadowlands again attracted a record crowd, but an off-court injury restricted Morton to just 13 minutes and 4 points, and the Orangemen prevailed. At 19-4, the Pirates were well on their way to equaling their 22-win season, but a 3-game Big East road trip was looking them right in the eyes.
Yes, we were probably going to go to the NCAA tournament. Yes, we were probably going to have a pretty good year, but I mean, it was far from decided just how good a year we were going to have. And clearly the test in our league is what you do on the road.
First stop, a sold-out DuPont Pavilion on the campus of Villanova. The Hall had never won there, but this was a season to settle all scores.
Darrell Walker quiet so far.
Blocked by Grice from behind. Oh, good pass. Gaze back inside, but Walker missed. Ramos the rebound. Oh, too hard. Ramos again. Got it. Oh, he just stays with it, doesn't he?
Andrew Gaze for the last shot, maybe?
Better find him. There he is. Gets to set his feet and hit it. 3 for Gaze, and at the buzzer, it is a 1-point game.
It was Villanova that got off to the very quick start in the first half. Walker spins in traffic, good up fake, and puts it down. Gaze lines up 3. He hits as Seton Hall is really heating up from the outside here to begin the second half. Gaze pops out and fires again, and hits. Walker double team. Ramos got free.
And of course, we saw history here. First win for Seton Hall ever at Villanova.
Next up, a sold-out Hartford Civic Center. Before a national ESPN audience, it was a night that belonged to the Hall's 2 Olympians.
The Hall the lead in the ball. Ramos finds Gaze. Inside. Boy, they just keep going closer and closer with that interior pass. 29-24. Hall by 5, thanks mainly to this man, number 10. Looking again. Got it!
Oh, man. He's in the zone now, Mike.
Skip past Gaze. Hits a 3.
And he still got it going.
Gaze was wide open in the corner. They didn't see him. Ramos again off for it. No one uses that glass better, Clark.
They're looking at Ramos.
Good catch. Better move. Whoa.
I like film material right there.
Finds Gaze. Gaze putting it on the floor, dumps it off. Ramos outside, and he drains it. Show me what you got, Ramon. Gaze loads up, hits a 3. Just when you thought he had gone home. 1:08 to go, 70-67, Seton Hall by 3. Again, the importance of this basketball game, the Hall looking to solidify their second place spot. 18 in the shot clock. Gaze thought about 3, takes a 2 and hits it. 22 for Gaze. Connecticut needs the 3. Smith will be the 1. He takes it. In and out. Seton Hall wins. Final score again, 72-69 here at the Hartford Civic Center. The beat goes on for the Pirates of Seton Hall.
The road trip came to a close with a 6-point loss at Pittsburgh, despite brilliant performances by both Ramos and Gaze. But the Hall bounced right back with its second win of the season over St. John's. Back-to-back games with the talented young Providence team were next, and the '89 seniors played their final home game in the Meadowlands. The Pirates wound up the regular season second in the Big East and with a spectacular overall record of 25-5. They were ranked 11th in both the major polls. Seton Hall was now a team being mentioned as a threat for the upcoming NCAA tournament. But before that, there was a weekend of basketball to play in Madison Square Garden. Sold out from beginning to end, the Big East tournament has become a New York City tradition. And this year, the Pirates entered the tourney looking to make a little noise. Their first opponent was Connecticut.
We welcome you to the 10th annual Big East tournament. Welcome to the tournament and welcome to New York.
Seton Hall can take the lead. Green to Avent. He's free. Ooh, a strong move by Avent. Here's Robinson. Knocked away by Walker. Wigington leads the Hall on a 4-on-2. Pookie dishes off. Cooper got it, and a foul is called. Coming up on 10 seconds in the half.
Gazer Ramos ought to get the last one.
Katsikas for three. He hits it. Nothing but net. Seton Hall by one. Nice feed to Darrell Walker, who lays it in, and the Pirates recapture the lead. He's wide open for three. Rebound, Darrell Walker puts it up and in. He has 8 points, and he puts the Pirates back up by 6. Green gets the roll. And Seton Hall with an 8-point lead at the 6:30 mark. And it is over. Seton Hall Pirates, for the second consecutive year, will go into the semifinals of the Big East Conference Tournament. They defeat the UConn Huskies 74-66.
The win over Connecticut propelled the Pirates into the Big East semifinals against Syracuse in front of a national television audience on CBS.
Tell you, speaking of Coach of the Year, P.J. Carlesimo, each of the last 2 years, has been named the Coach of the Year in the Big East. Now look at each year he's been there, they have increased the number of wins with this team. And this year, an all-time best, 26-5. This is a talented Seton Hall team coming in here.
It is, Brent, and everybody underrated the great senior leadership, also the power of this club. They were predicted to be the 6th-place team in this league before it started by the coaches, but they have come on very well, and they're a solid ball club.
Syracuse doing a good job on Andrew Gaze, who's a tremendous outside shooter. Here's Ramos. They don't have to shoot outside. I don't know if they're going to put away layups like that. Just Gaze at the top.
Shot one of those since the 5th grade.
Morton's three. It's a 29-27 Seton Hall lead. Morton kept it. Didn't get it. In by Avent. Avent off the bench for Carlesimo. Gives the Hall a boost here.
They just give Green the shot.
He'll take it. And he bangs in a three.
Good thinking on Green's part.
Couldn't get it to fall. On the floor, diving for it is Seton Hall. They come up with another loose ball. Now it's Green in the middle. No foul. They come up with an offensive rebound and another putback. That was Cooper. Cooper doesn't look for his shot. Here's Green, the three. And Seton Hall is back ahead. Jimmy Boeheim will go to a timeout at the 12-minute mark. 75-72, a 3-point lead. Seton Hall with only one field goal the last 5 minutes.
Now, Seton Hall has a very small team on the floor, so they better hit their shot. There shouldn't be much rebounding opportunity.
Morton squared up and hit it. Pulls him back to within one. 78-77 and timeout with 28 seconds.
I think right now we're going to be disappointed for a little bit, but I think we'll get our heads back up, and by next Thursday or Friday, hopefully we'll be ready.
This veteran Seton Hall club was more than ready when they took the floor in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. John Morton scored 26 as the Pirates defeated Southwest Missouri by 9. Then Darrell Walker had 16 points and 10 rebounds in a 14-point win over Evansville. And the Hall was on its way to the West Regional, about to write a new chapter of Seton Hall basketball history. Halfway across the country and a mile high at McNichols Arena in Denver, the Hall drew mighty Indiana and its legendary coach Bobby Knight for the opening game of the West Regional. Two-time Big East Coach of the Year P.J. Carlesimo now found himself in the national spotlight, that day being named Coach of the Year by both Kodak and the Sporting News. And before the game, Knight himself added to the praise.
Goes beyond a kid that you've known for a long time. He becomes now a coach that I have a great respect for after having had a chance to watch the kind of job he's done, and I think will continue to do. As long as he coaches, as long as he stays doing what he's doing now, he's going to be one of the best coaches we've got.
The three-point Indiana lead, 8-5. Less than 3 minutes going by in the first half. Here's Andrew Gaze outside for a three. 15-13 Indiana, and Green hits a three, so Gerald Green has a three-point basket to give Seton Hall its first lead of the game. Now Seton Hall, with a 6-point lead, can establish their biggest lead of this first half if they score.
Too many opportunities. Indiana's got to do a better job. Guards have to go down and rebound for them.
Indiana was hanging in there early because of their shooting. They've grown cold. Katsikas hitting that shot, a three-point basket by Nick Katsikas, and Seton Hall has opened up a 9-point lead. Underway in the second half. Gaze, Ramos, and Walker up front for Seton Hall, and Gaze hits a three-pointer to start it off. Morton. There's Volsey with the follow. Again, Volsey, basket counts and a foul, and they're pounding the offensive play. Gerald Green controlling. If he ought to pick a time, what would be a good time for Ramos?
I would say about 4 minutes, unless they get back in it right away. They've got control. They've got the half. Nice back cut.
Gaze gets the basket. That's Gaze's first 2-point basket of the game. He has 14. Cooper coming around, but Hillman is sticking with him, and a steal by Edwards. And a great play by Michael Cooper. Kept the ball into the hands of Seton Hall, and Green lays it in. And that may be the big play of the game. We'll wait and see with 3:04 to go. Big hustle.
You're right on it. Cooper gave it all up.
It's 70-63, a 7-point lead. 1:43 to go. Loose ball, and Seton Hall on the turnover.
Great play by Darrell Walker.
Green handling it, looking for help. Cooper, Walker, Gaze, big basket for Seton Hall, and Bobby Knight knows it. Edwards going for a three, misses. It's desperation time for Indiana, but Morton gets the long rebound, and an exclamation point for Seton Hall. Seton Hall's defense limiting Indiana to only 3 field goals in the last 15 minutes of the second half have stunned Indiana. Final score, Seton Hall 78, Indiana 65, and the Pirates of the Big East will move on to the Western Regional Final.
Suddenly, the Seton Hall Pirates were no longer just playing in the NCAA tournament. This team, picked to finish 7th in the Big East, was suddenly playing for a piece of basketball history.
This was for the trip to the Final Four. I mean, I think at that point it really sunk in. I mean, it wasn't the NCAA tournament anymore. We're talking Final Four. You know, the winner of our game is going to Seattle.
Michigan has already won the right to go to Seattle. They're in the Final Four, and will fit in the second piece of that puzzle as the UNLV Runnin' Rebels take on the Seton Hall Pirates. Ramos playing at the top right now, and Andrew Gaze hits the first shot, a three. Gaze finds Walker. Good position for Darrell Walker, and he gets the bucket.
That's the dip in. Little play where they step in the lane.
Walker in and out. Going up for the rebound. Moses Scurry. Good defense inside by Seton Hall. Morton down court. Abbott filling the lane. Basket good.
You have to be prepared against Vegas.
Fake, and a shot by Cooper is good. Michael Cooper with his second basket. And Cooper tipped up and in by Volsey. Great hustle. Saving it is Mons Volsey. Katsikas nails a three. That was the most unlikely play I've ever seen.
Release.
He's amazing, isn't he, Darrell Walker?
Been boarding tremendously in the tournament, and a good drive and a basket by Gerald Green, and Seton Hall is up by 6. Here comes Seton Hall. Gaze leading the way, and Morton slides in, tipped up and in by Walker.
He's always in the right place.
Seton Hall clinging to the 38-34 lead. Less than 4 minutes elapsed here in the second half in Denver. Andrew Gaze with a quick three. Gaze for three in the corner. He's got it. Andrew Gaze with his third three-point basket of the game has 12 points to lead the Pirates. Inside it goes to Volsey, and Seton Hall has its biggest lead. Here's the speed. He's got Cooper. And Seton Hall is on a big run here, the most impressive sequence of the game. And a timeout will be called by the Rebels. Smart play by Green. Green, basket counts, and a foul. Gerald Green with a quick, nifty baseline move, and Gaze with a big game. Michael Cooper, and now Seton Hall is battering UNLV at almost every turn.
Quicker to the ball. Great effort.
So Seton Hall beat Indiana and UNLV here at McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado, and the Seton Hall Pirates of the Big East have advanced to the Final Four. PJ Carlesimo, congratulations on a tremendous, heartwarming victory. I know you want to talk about the game, but the picture of you and your parents at the end of the game may be the most dramatic we've seen in the tournament.
Well, you don't want to get too personal, but for me, that's the most special thing about it. When you can make your parents happy, that's the best thing you can possibly do.
What had seemed like an impossible dream 6 months before was now a reality for the Seton Hall Pirates. This underrated and unsung group had earned a spot in college basketball's most prestigious event. The Hall, the new kids on the block among favorites Duke, Illinois, and Michigan, captivated the country, and PJ Carlesimo directed all the credit to his players.
People don't understand how talented these 5 people are, how talented our other 9 players are. We have more good players than anybody in the country. That's why we're here.
Our first national semifinal here this afternoon will match the Seton Hall Pirates of the Big East against the pride of the ACC, the Duke Blue Devils.
It was a junior-senior group that I think had experienced all they were going to experience. I mean, they weren't going to be fazed by anything, I didn't believe. We had played all over the country. They had played in Big East tournaments. They'd played on national TV. What was going to scare them? I didn't think anything. And then came the first 10 minutes of the Duke game.
A very skill level may be the thing that could be the difference.
Draws a bead that time, Billy.
I mean, we're coming unglued, but there wasn't that much we could do. We took 2 timeouts in addition to the TV timeout, but Darrell Walker was doing a good job on Danny Ferry. Danny Ferry was just playing unconscious. Really, we were just trying to stop the bleeding. And, yeah, I mean, it's got to go through your minds. I mean, you work for this all your life, and you're in the Final Four in front of I don't know how many millions of people, and we're embarrassing ourselves. But the kids never hung their heads. Gerald Green played out of his mind. I mean, it felt like 50-0. If it weren't for Gerald, it would have been there. Gerald was single-handedly keeping us in the game, and he was yelling at the kids in the timeout. And I really thought Darrell's basket and then the steal, and we scored again. We just took a deep breath, and then now you could start worrying about how many points behind we were and how much time was left on the game. We had just started playing.
He'll pull up with a jump shot. And now Seton Hall starting to loosen up on defense. Up over the zone from the corner. A three-pointer by Green. It's 11 for the game. It's 36-28. The Hall is back in it. Lead now to Green with that speed. Snyder awaits him. Green penetrates on the inside. They'll use Katsikas left-handed. He buries it. Here comes Green. Green, look at Gaze. He's there. Duke led it by 18. And they were feeling very confident. But PJ Carlesimo's Seton Hall Pirates hustled back in. Gaze with a hand on it and controls it. Lead now to Morton. 3 field goals for John Morton in the second half. Also there, great pass to Avent.
Back screen beautifully set by Gaze. Completely out of their offensive pattern right now, trying to do it all one-on-one.
Now they're down by 6. And Seton Hall is solidly in command of this game. It is 67-61, and you can feel it.
Snyder without a field goal.
Gaze down under again. Does it sound funny to anybody else to say Seton Hall is going to play for a national championship? What a tremendous story this is, and they're now within 4 minutes and 25 seconds of moving to Monday night. And they did it the old-fashioned way here this afternoon. Nothing but hard work. There wasn't anything easy about what this team has accomplished here today. Morton. Seton Hall heads to the championship game with a dramatic comeback, putting away Duke 95-78.
What is it about this ball club that they're pulling together so well?
Well, we're like a family. I think the team is so together right now that anybody can come up and do the job, and this team is like a family. It's unbelievable how well we feel against each other.
The Seton Hall Pirates were about to play their 38th basketball game of the season, and a national championship hung in the balance.
And it is Walker down with the game's first rebound. Mickey Crowley, your referee. John Clardy and Tom Rucker, the two umpires. Green bangs in a three. Seton Hall 3 of 10. They've taken 7 from three-point land, but Ramos with a layup. 6:52 to go. And now it is Morton with the three. That's 12 unanswered points by the Seton Hall Pirates. They lead it 26-20. Wigginton inside with a bigger fella. The smallest man in Division 1A.
And inside the Kingdome at halftime, Michigan leading Seton Hall by 5.
Walker watching the successful free throw. It's down to 6, 59-53 now with 7:42. They wanted to defense. Ramos up with it, and Morton coming back in the middle now. Morton will try to go all the way for the layup, and he does, and the Hall back in the middle of it.
Morton looks quick.
Morton through the lane, hits the field goal. Lost control.
Nice save.
Seton Hall's ball. Here's Morton for a breakout. That was a big moment in this game. He's got a hand on it. Seton Hall's ball. 3-on-2 now. Green off to the side. Morton hits it again. And Seton Hall back to within 1 in 2.5 minutes. The Seton Hall defense down the stretch. How few field goals they allow each of these teams. And now over the last 13 minutes, Michigan only 6 of 23. John Morton has exploded, scoring 15 of Seton Hall's last 22 points. It's a 3-point lead, 34 seconds. Here comes Seton Hall.
Think about Gaze right now for the three.
And Morton with a hot hand. He'll jack up the three. He closes it. 24 seconds. Time for Michigan. Going to look for Rice, too, if he can flash. He's going to go to the other side. He comes out high. He's got Gaze on him. Gaze with him. Rice shoots. Rice doesn't get the roll. We're going to go to overtime. Now with the shot clock running down, Gaze bangs in a three. His first field goal of the game, and it came in overtime.
See if PJ goes to that double high now and going to force Michigan to chase.
Morton, he's got another one. 35 points. Michigan's ball. They've got an opportunity here now to win it. They've got to hurry. 5 seconds. Robinson goes in. Foul called with 3 seconds. A foul against Seton Hall. Let's see what happens on the free throw. Michigan leads it.
Mills makes it tough to throw the line drive pass.
Starts when touched. Long pass. Walker and Green battle. Walker fires up. It's over. The Wolverines win an NCAA title over Seton Hall. A tough opponent all the way.
My recollections of this year jump around a lot, but I remember John and Gerald and Darryl and Ramon and what they went through, like their evolution from being young kids and struggling and being criticized to being the kids that absolutely, you know, put our program on the map. I think our assistants did a great job. Rod Baker, John Carroll, Tom Sullivan, Bruce Hamburger did an exceptional job for us this year. But our assistants have done a good job. I've been saying for years we have the best assistants in the country. To see the way the school enjoyed this year was very special. To me, Monsignor Patillo, Larry Keating, who stood behind us through some tough times, it was a great thing after every game. I used to look forward to seeing Larry or Monsignor coming down to the locker room after a game, because those guys were there when people were throwing things at us and screaming and yelling, and now, you know, they're walking around with smiles on their faces. It's really incredible to see the impact these kids had on our university, on the state of New Jersey, and really on the country, because a lot of people around the country took to this team, which was interesting, but I think it's because of the kind of kids we had. So it really was, it was a very special experience, and as you go through it, you can't appreciate it as much. I mean, it's fun and it's exciting, but I mean, the further away we get from it, the more unrealistic and the more special it seems.